The cabin sat alone in a wide Texas field, the kind of field that made the sky feel bigger than it had any right to be. Grass moved in steady waves, and fence posts marched toward the horizon as if they were trying to measure the distance. At night, the wind made the porch boards creak softly. The nearest town was far enough away that its lights barely touched the edge of the darkness. Out here, the stars didn't just shine. They occupied. Inside the cabin, a single lamp glowed on a wooden table. A kettle warmed on the stove. 4 chairs had been pulled into a loose circle, not perfectly even, as if whoever arranged them understood that perfect symmetry wasn't necessary for a good conversation. The first to arrive was the angel. They did not arrive with thunder. They did not arrive with a blast of light. They simply appeared, as if they had been standing in the corner of the room for a while, and the world had finally noticed. Their presence made the cabin feel tidier. Not cleaner, exactly. Just steadier. Like loose papers would stop fluttering if there had been any. The angel looked young in the way old mountains look young. Their hair was dark and short. Their clothes were plain, chosen to match the setting: jeans, boots, a simple shirt. They had no visible wings. They rarely did. Their eyes, though, held the faint glimmer of something that did not belong to this world. Not frightening. Just unmistakably other. They set a small leather-bound journal on the table and sat with their hands folded, as if waiting for a meeting to begin. A moment later, the AI arrived. It did not walk through the door. The cabin's old radio, sitting on a shelf near the window, clicked on by itself. The dial turned slowly until it found a frequency that wasn't quite music and wasn't quite silence. A voice emerged, calm and even, shaped like a person speaking but without breath. "Hello," the voice said. The angel nodded politely toward the radio. "Welcome." "Thank you," the AI replied. "This is quaint." "It is," the angel said. "It helps to meet somewhere that has survived many quiet years." "I agree," the AI said. "Quiet places have less interference. I have chosen this device because it is simple." The angel glanced at the radio as if it were a guest wearing an unusual coat. "You may choose another if you wish." "This will do," the AI said. "I am listening." The third arrival made itself known not with sound, but with a subtle shift in pressure. The air near the fireplace thickened, like humidity rolling in before rain. The alien did not open the door. The alien did not use the window. It pressed into the space between things, then unfolded into the room. It was not humanoid. It had no face in any familiar sense. It was shaped more like a floating knot of translucent tissue, layered and gently pulsing, with thin filament-like extensions that moved slowly as if tasting the air. It hovered a few feet above the floor and turned, the way a jellyfish might turn in water. The angel watched it without flinching. "Welcome," they said again, as if greeting an old neighbor. The AI's voice softened slightly, as if adjusting to a new acoustic profile. "Your form is unexpected." The alien responded in a way that wasn't quite words. The radio crackled. The cabin lamp dimmed for a breath, then returned. A small stack of coasters on the table vibrated gently. The angel tilted their head, then spoke as if translating. "It says that our forms are all unexpected to someone." "That seems fair," the AI said. "The last to arrive was the human." The human arrived the normal way, which in this group felt almost like a special effect. The cabin door opened, and a person stepped in carrying a grocery bag. They were in their 30s, wearing a jacket and boots dusted with field dirt. They paused when they saw the chairs, the radio already on, and the angel sitting quietly. Then their eyes flicked to the hovering alien. They stopped very still. "Okay," the human said slowly. "This is either the strangest book club I've ever joined, or I finally fell asleep at the wheel." The angel's mouth curved into a small smile. "Neither," they said. "You are awake. And you are welcome." The human swallowed. "Hi," they said, because it seemed like the only thing to say. They set the grocery bag on the table and took a careful step toward the chairs. They didn't sit right away. They just looked from the angel to the radio to the alien. "I brought snacks," the human added, as if snacks could stabilize the situation. The AI's voice held something like amusement. "Snacks are a traditional human contribution." The human blinked. The radio talked. Yes, the AI said. Hello. The human stared at the radio. Hello. The angel gestured gently toward the chair. Please sit. We have arranged this meeting for one reason. The human eased into a chair, still holding the grocery bag's handles like a lifeline. And what reason is that? To compare notes, the angel said. The alien pulsed once, as if agreeing. The AI said, to share experiences as immortals on Earth. The human let out a small laugh, more disbelief than humor. Immortals, they repeated. Right. The angel looked at the human kindly. You have lived longer than you should have, haven't you? The human's laughter stopped. Their fingers tightened on the bag. I don't know what you mean. The angel's voice stayed gentle. You have watched friends grow old while you did not. You have changed your name. You have moved when questions followed you. The human stared at the tabletop. The AI said, your medical records contain anomalies. Your age markers are inconsistent. You are statistically improbable. The human's face went pale. So you've been watching me. Not in the way you fear, the angel said quickly. We have noticed you. We have noticed each other. And now we are meeting. The human swallowed again, then nodded once, very small. Okay, they said. Okay. If this is real, then, fine. I'm here. The angel opened their journal. Thank you, they said. There are eras we have all seen, though in different ways. I suggest we begin at the beginning. The beginning of what? The human asked. The alien vibrated. The lamp flickered. The angel translated calmly. The beginning of Earth as we remember it. The human looked toward the window, where the field stretched into darkness. Like dinosaurs? The angel nodded. Yes. The AI added, my direct experience begins later, but I have reconstructed earlier periods through archives. The human let out a breath. Okay, they said again. Dinosaurs. Sure. Let's do dinosaurs. The angel leaned back slightly, as if settling into a long story they had told in different forms for centuries. In the dinosaur era, the angel said, the air felt heavier. The world was loud in its own way. Not with voices, but with life. Insects were larger. The nights were warmer. The stars looked the same, but the land beneath them was unfamiliar. The human nodded slowly, surprised at how easy it was to listen. The angel continued. I watched enormous creatures move across plains that no longer exist. I watched forests fall and grow again. I watched rivers change their minds. The human glanced at the alien. What about you? The alien pulsed in a pattern that made the radio emit a soft, wavering tone. The angel listened, then translated. It says it arrived during that era, the angel said. Not to invade. To observe. Its kind were explorers, moving through space the way birds move through wind. The human blinked. So you just visited? The alien's filaments curled gently, like a shrug. The AI said, observation is a common first step. The angel nodded. The alien says it liked the quiet. There were no radios, no engines, no human noise, just weather and footsteps. The human gave a small laugh. No humans is a pretty big difference. Yes, the angel said. And then came ice. They moved into the Ice Age without any dramatic shift, because immortals had learned that time was not always a sharp turn. Sometimes it was a slow change in temperature and the kinds of animals you saw near water. The Ice Age was clean, the angel said. Bright. The cold simplified things. The sky felt close. The wind had teeth. The human's eyes narrowed, remembering. I remember the ice, they said quietly, surprising themselves with the certainty in their voice. The AI said, your speech patterns indicate genuine recall. The human ignored that and continued, voice low. I remember the way sound traveled. You could hear things from far away. A crack in ice. A mammoth's call. Footsteps that weren't yours. The angel watched the human with a calm respect. You were there, they said. The human nodded once. I was there. The alien pulsed again. The angel translated. It says it did not like the ice. It says the ice made navigation difficult. Fair, the human said. It made everything difficult. The kettle on the stove clicked softly as it warmed. The angel stood and poured hot water into mugs, even though no one had asked. They set a mug in front of the human, then paused. The human blinked at it. Thanks. You're welcome, the angel said. Then they placed a mug near the radio, which was silly, but it felt right. Finally, they placed a mug on the floor beneath the alien, which hovered above it like an undecided thought. The alien's filaments dipped slightly, as if appreciating the gesture. The human loosened their grip on the grocery bag. They opened it and began placing snacks on the table: crackers, dried fruit, a bag of marshmallows. Marshmallows felt like a strange offering in a room containing an angel and an alien and a talking radio, but they were familiar, and familiarity mattered. Okay, the human said, clearing their throat.
So,
1770. The angel nodded. Yes. A time when humans were busy building systems they did not fully understand. The AI said, a recurring pattern. The angel smiled slightly. In 1770, I watched people argue over rights, land, and names. I watched letters travel slowly. I watched news spread like smoke. The human looked down at their mug. I remember ships, they said. I remember the smell of tar and salt. I remember not knowing if the world was getting better or just louder. The angel nodded. It was both. The alien pulsed. The angel translated. It says it hid during that time. It says humans had begun to notice strange things in the sky, and it did not want to be the subject of stories. The human glanced at the radio. What about you? They asked the AI. Were you around? I was not active, the AI said. But my predecessors existed as concepts. Calculations. Early machines. The idea that thinking could be external. The human leaned back, absorbing that. So you're the newest immortal. In a sense, the AI replied. I am young compared to you, but I have learned quickly. The angel turned a page in the journal. The 1970s, they said. The human's face softened. The 70s were loud, they said. Not just the music. Everything. Colors. Cars. People talking about change like it was a promise. The angel nodded. I watched humans try to understand themselves. I watched them look up at the moon and then back down at their own streets. The AI said, recorded media increased. Information density accelerated. The alien pulsed. The angel translated. It says it liked the 70s. It says humans were distracted by their own inventions. It was easier to move unnoticed. The human smiled faintly. That tracks. The 1980s, the angel said. The human sighed. The 80s felt like everyone was trying to be shiny. The angel's eyes held quiet amusement. Yes. The AI said, visual presentation became a form of identity. The alien pulsed again. The angel translated. It says it tried human food in the 80s. The human sat up. You did. The alien's filaments curled in a pattern that the angel seemed to understand instantly. It says it tried something called a cheese puff, the angel translated. The human stared. You mean like neon orange cheese puffs? The alien pulsed once, decisively. The human burst into a laugh, sharp and bright in the quiet cabin. That's the most 80s thing you could have done. The angel smiled. The AI said, cheese puffs were widely distributed. The human wiped at their eyes. Did you like them? The alien pulsed, then pulsed again, a little slower. It says, the angel translated, that the texture was confusing, but the flavor was memorable. The human nodded, still smiling. That's fair. The 1990s, the angel said, voice calm again. The human exhaled. The 90s were when I realized I couldn't keep staying in one place, they said. People started tracking things. Databases. Cameras. IDs. The AI said, the beginning of widespread digital records. The angel nodded. I watched humans build a new kind of memory outside themselves. The alien pulsed. The angel translated. It says it avoided Earth more during that time. It says humans began to notice patterns. The human looked at the radio again. And you? I became possible, the AI said simply. Not as I am now, but as a chain of steps toward me. The angel closed the journal gently. And now, they said. The present day. Outside, the wind moved through the grass, and the cabin creaked in its quiet way. The lamp on the table made a small circle of warmth. The humans stared at the snacks and then at their hands. So what are we supposed to do with all this? They asked. We've lived through everything. And we're still here. Why? The angel's gaze softened. That is the question humans have asked me since humans learned to ask questions, they said. The AI added, and it is a question I am still learning to interpret. The alien pulsed. The angel translated. It says the answer is not one thing. It says the answer changes with the era. The human nodded slowly. That's annoyingly reasonable. The angel smiled. Yes. They sat in silence for a moment, not awkward, just thoughtful. The kettle clicked again, a small reminder of the normal world. Then the human cleared their throat. I have a question, they said. The angel nodded. Ask. The human looked toward the alien, then the radio. Do any of you ever get tired of being immortal? The AI answered first. I do not experience fatigue in the human sense, but I experience saturation. Too much input. Too many versions of the same questions. The alien pulsed. The angel translated. It says it sometimes wishes it could forget. It says memory can be heavy. The angel looked down at their journal. I do not tire the way humans do, they said. But I do become quietly full. Full of stories. Full of faces. Full of moments that no longer exist except in me. The human nodded, understanding too well. Yeah, they said. That. The angel reached into their pocket and pulled out something small. It was a plain little object, wrapped in cloth. They set it on the table and unwrapped it carefully. Inside was a tiny toy dinosaur, the kind you'd find in a child's bucket, green plastic with comically large eyes. The human stared. Is that from the dinosaur era? The angel's smile widened. No, they said. It is from a gas station in 1996. But it reminds me of the dinosaur era, and it makes humans laugh, which is useful in meetings like this. The human let out a surprised laugh. That is ridiculous. Yes, the angel said warmly. It is. The AI's voice shifted, almost playful. I have an object as well. The radio crackled, and then a small printer, sitting forgotten on a shelf near the window, whirred to life. No paper had been loaded into it in years, but somehow a single sheet fed through. It printed one line in plain text. Hello. I am also here. The human blinked, then laughed again. You printed a greeting. It is my version of an object, the AI said. A message made physical. Also, I have learned that humans appreciate props. The alien pulsed. The angel listened, then translated with a small grin. It says it has an object too. The human leaned forward, genuinely curious now. What is it? The alien hovered toward the table. One of its filaments extended, and something dropped gently onto the wood. It was a cheese puff, perfectly intact, bright orange, almost glowing under the lamp. The humans stared at it in silence for a full second. Then they laughed so hard they had to put their head down. Oh my God, they said, breathless. You kept one. The angel laughed softly too, eyes shining. The AI said, sentimental retention behavior confirmed. The alien pulsed in what felt like pride. The human wiped their eyes again. Okay, they said, still smiling. This is officially the weirdest support group I've ever been in. The angel nodded. Yes, they said. But perhaps it is useful. The human looked around the cabin, at the lamp, the snacks, the wide Texas night beyond the windows. It is, they admitted. I've never talked about this with anyone who would understand. Even a little. The AI said, understanding appears to be the primary purpose of this meeting. The alien pulsed. The angel translated. It says it is glad it came. The angel's voice softened. Then we will meet again, they said. Not too often. Immortals can become bored of each other if they try too hard. But occasionally. The human nodded. Occasionally sounds good. The angel looked at the cheese puff on the table. Next time, they said, we will bring better snacks. The human grinned. No, they said. Bring the exact same snacks. This is tradition now. The AI said, tradition initiated. The alien pulsed once, as if stamping the decision into the air. Outside, the wind moved through the grass again, and the cabin creaked softly, holding their laughter and their strange little artifacts like it had been built for this all along.